Before I begin talking about Endgame and the future of the MCU, I just want to say that Captain Marvel was a success, or so on paper, with reports stating that it needed to make $750 million in order to break even. Tells me that a lot more money went into this thing than what Disney was laying on, as well as a lot of empty theaters that were sold out in advance. Something very fishy is definitely going on. But despite Captain Marvel and Brie Larson with all her bullshit, Avengers Endgame is positioned to be the biggest movie in history, as it's breaking records left and right. As I said before in my previous video that everyone is talking about Endgame, everyone is seeing it. Now, before I start talking about my thoughts on Endgame, I'm going to warn you right now that there will be spoilers. So, if you don't want anything spoiled, then stop watching. So with that said, let's begin! First off, I'm not really a big fan of the whole time travel aspect in movies, let alone in a fucking superhero movie. But here we have Endgame, where the Avengers team up once again and then split up to retrieve the stones from the past, i.e. time travel, to undo Thanos' death snap in the present, which is most of the movie. And the movie itself is 3 fucking hours long. They have to do this because Thanos destroyed the stones in the beginning of the film before being killed by Thor. I mean, how else are you going to undo the damage that a galactic dickhead caused, especially when he destroyed the means to fix it? Time travel! Marty McFly got nothing on this shit. I personally would have liked for Endgame to follow the comic version of Infinity Wars with Adam Warlock and the original Captain Marvel in the Marvel Universe Marvel. But, whatever. It is what it is. One of the biggest surprises in the film to me was Black Widow being killed off. Here we have her and Hawkeye at Vormir in the past to retrieve the Soul Stone during the time heist, and they have to make a sacrifice in order to get it. Black Widow chooses to kill herself so that Hawkeye can be with his family again after the Avengers get all the stones and undo Thanos' bullshit. And it doesn't look like that she's coming back either. Even Professor Hulk tried to bring her back when he did a reverse snap, but that didn't work. And here I thought we were getting a Black Widow movie. Well, guess not. Unless they do a prequel sort of thing, which would be weird and out of place to have that kind of movie for a character that's already dead. I felt that besides Captain America fighting his slightly younger self and Black Widow being killed off, the movie was drawn out and boring. It only picks up at the last half hour of the movie where past Thanos makes his way to the present to fight the Avengers. It picks up even further when we see all the revived heroes fight past Thanos' army in a big climactic battle. And the best part in the entire movie for me was when past Thanos punches Brie Larson, Captain Marvel herself, in her feminist white man-hating face and knocks her out for the rest of the fight. Fucking beautiful. The battle ends with Iron Man taking the stones back from past Thanos and snapping him out of existence before he could do the same to everyone else. Iron Man dies from the power of the stones. At his funeral, Captain America is tasked with returning the stones and Thor's hammer to their appropriate places in time. Only afterwards, he decides to say, "Fuck my friends and family that I made in the present. I'm staying in the past to get with a woman I liked." Whee! Only to reappear conveniently on a bench as an old man where he passes his shield on to Falcon to become, I guess, Captain Falcon? This is very out of character of Captain America, to willingly abandon his friends and family he made for his own selfish needs. And yes, I know that Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans are hanging up their boots after Endgame, but instead of killing off Iron Man and retiring Captain America, their stories could have ended more open-ended like, opening the door for a potential return if the actors wanted to. But it looks like that's not happening. Now, Overall, I felt the movie as a whole wasn't bad, but it wasn't all that great either. Given the fact that most of the action in the movie was at the very end of it, I felt that waiting 2.5 hours for it wasn't worth the wait. As for the future of the MCU, it's looking rather bleak, with the exits of Iron Man and Captain America leaving a large gap as the faces of the MCU. Kevin Feige has decided to put Captain Marvel, Brie Larson herself, as the new face of the MCU going forward, despite the fans as well as other actors in the MCU expressing their concern and dislike towards Brie Larson and her feminist SJW views. Endgame will be the end for many of us that have watched the MCU for the past decade, as the wokeness will consume it going further like a horde of mindless zombies. It started with Captain Marvel, and now with Brie Larson positioned as the new head of the MCU means that this ideology is going to continue to spread, especially since she signed a multi-movie deal, as well as expressing her desire to direct an all-female Avengers movie. I feel like many others feel that Endgame will be the last good MCU film before it self-destructs, resembling what the DCU was a few years back. Well, at least it was fun while it lasted, right? Anyway, if you liked this video, hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching and have a great day.